Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Grumbo's back, this time with a different game, Stoneshard, an indie game that's been in development for several years now. Good friend of mine turned me on to it way back when, and I've been loving it since. And since I last played it, there's been some updates, some pretty big ones. Uh, it's in beta still, but it's 0.9, so it's getting close. And from what I've seen of the new stuff, it looks really cool. So I'm looking forward to it. There's even some new characters, so I'm going to try out one of those probably. Looking forward to it. Should be a lot of fun. Let's just jump right in. I'm not going to play the prologue this time, but I might do that in a future stream. The prologue is fun, don't get me wrong, but I want to jump right into a character that's my own. The prologue, you control a different character, and once you're done with it, you don't get to carry over the items you find or anything like that, or any of the progress. So we're gonna start a new character instead. Uh, Backstory is told pretty well at the beginning of the game, so we'll go ahead and read all the dialogue out loud and get the context that way. So, and we're gonna hold off on permadeath, although I'm not opposed to doing permadeath runs. I think that would be a lot of fun. For now, we're just gonna do a casual, fun playthrough while we learn about some of the new stuff. And for those of you who haven't seen, uh, you can kind of see how the game works. Osbrook, a few weeks later. So this is our prompt to pick our character. And so back when I last played, the characters were Velmir, Jorgrim, Arna, Derwin, and Jonna. My favorite character is probably Jonna, but we'll go over each of them and decide what to pick. So each character has different background, is a different gender, either male or female, which actually can make a difference in certain interactions, but I'm not going to base it on the gender. I'm just going to base it on what I want to play, what looks fun to me. So first we've got Velmir, the Revenger, who is a human. His unique trait. Chat says can't hear the game. Let me see if I can fix that. Give me a minute. I'm working on getting the sound to work. If you start hearing the game, let me know, please. Okay, I think I fixed it. Let me know if you can hear it in the comments. You'd be able to hear some music right now. In the meantime, we'll just keep looking at the characters. So, Velmir, Revenger, each of them has their own unique trait. If there's a boss, mini boss, or more than 4 enemies with vision, chat says they can hear it. Excellent. Cool, cool. All right. Let me know if anything else goes wrong, and I'll try to fix it. Still pretty new to this whole streaming thing, but it's fun. Okay, so if there's a boss or a bunch of enemies in vision, they all take extra damage for each mini boss killed for the first time, up to 30%. Boy, if I kill enough mini bosses for them to get to that 30% cap, that's a pretty crazy fight. This game is not a. You're not a. One of the traits that they talk about for this game, you're not a hero. You're just a regular guy. Every enemy you see is on par with you, regular guy as well. And you do not want to fight multiple enemies at once if you can help it. And you really, it's all about positioning, using your skills correctly. So you don't want to face a lot of enemies, at least early on. Later on, you can actually get kind of crazy. When I was playing Janna early on, man, once you get the fire skills up, she's insane. She can take on large groups and take them all out. But you got to build up to that. And in the meantime, she's very slow. She has to do a lot of kiting. You want to use doorways and it's kind of crazy how hard it can be early on. Okay, so anyway, killing a mini boss applies all enemies on the location with half of this penalty. Replenishes morale and sanity. Grants extra experience for each mini boss killed for the first time. Huh. That looks like it's permanent. That's pretty cool. Plus 10% reputation gain and 2 stat points for each killed boss. That's really, really, really good. You get a stat point per level. So that's like a lot. And the extra experience is nice too. Okay, so that's pretty good. He's got, so base stats are, they start at 10. I don't think any of them start lower than 10. Each of those different stats do different things. Strength is mostly about weapon damage, blocking. And agility is about countering, less chance for you to mess up when you're using your weapons or your skills. There's a chance to fumble, backfire. Increases your chance to dodge. Perception is all about accuracy and helps you penetrate armor. Also makes it so you can see more things, see further, and also gives you extra crit chance. Vitality is about your energy, which is used for skills and spells. And if you have enough points in vitality, you also get extra health. Helps with your blocking. And also helps you prevent yourself from being knocked back or moved. I think that's what control means. I could be wrong on that, though. Willpower is about the cooldowns of your abilities and your magic power. So if you're a mage, you definitely want willpower. Also, pain resistance is really good. Pain in this game can be very debilitating and can easily lead to you dying. So willpower can be important for pretty much any character, honestly. Okay, so this guy, you can see the affinities they have. The affinities, they start out being able to learn the first tier of skills from each tree that are listed. If you don't have an affinity for the skill, you have to find a book that teaches you about it to be able to start using that skill, or at least take skills. What do you call it? I think it's just called skills. You get skill points as you level up, and you can put them into different skill trees. And if you don't have an affinity for it, you have to read a book to be able to spec into that skill. So, looks like two-handed weapons, and he's also good with bows and such. I played with Velmir a bit. He's fun, and ranged weapons can be fun, but difficult to learn. They don't play like you might expect. Honestly, it feels a lot more realistic. And then athletics and warfare are both kind of more generalized, useful skills. I'm trying to decide if we should read this story. Well, okay, let's go through all the characters, and then whichever character we choose, we'll read their story. So let's do that. All right, so this is Velmir, either ranged weapons, two-handed weapons, if I like that. Grogrim, he's a human as well. Oh, no, he's a dwarf. Yeah, he's a dwarf from Fjall. Gore and Glory allows butchering to harvest trophies from mini bosses, delivering a trophy while turning in a contract. So you essentially take their, well, probably a body part or something, I would assume. That's pretty cool. Very flavorful. He's kind of like a berserker, so that makes a lot of sense. And you get extra stat points, weapon damage for each trophy, each three trophies. That's pretty cool. And then, oh, okay, definitely a berserker. Killing enemies gives you extra experience stacking. That's pretty cool. Okay, so 11 in strength, 11 in perception, 11 in vitality. Swords, axes, maces, also two-handed axes, and dual wielding. I haven't really delved much into dual wielding. That might be fun. All right, next is Arna. She's a maiden knight. She's also a human from a different area than Velmir. He's from Scadia. She's from Aldor, which is, I believe, Aldor is the area we start in. Vow of the Feet. Each enemy within vision increases the rate of heroism, optimism, and second wind. So all of those things have a random chance to happen. Heroism and optimism both kind of just randomly happen while you're traveling, doing things. And if I'm not mistaken, second wind only happens if you're mid battle and go below a certain amount of health, and it's only a percentage chance to happen. But it could save your butt. I've had fights where I survived only because I got second wind. Positive psyche states are better. Second wind, 50% chance to avoid death an unlimited number of times. That is epic. Okay, I'm pretty sure that these traits have changed since last time I played. Because I don't remember that, and I would have remembered that. That's really cool. Killing dangerous enemies grants additional experience depending on the character's level. I'm guessing dangerous enemies means like mini bosses and bosses. Okay, and yeah, she's a knight. She's got the same or very similar. She's got strength, agility, and vitality. Swords, two-handed swords. I believe she starts out with a big two-handed sword, but you can also do sword and board or maces. She's good with armor, which armor can be very, very good if you can get into the skills in it. All right, Derwin, he's a woodward, also a human from Aldor. Ranger's Grit. Starts the game with Make a Halt, already learned. That's from the survival skill tree, and it's actually really good. When you're butchering animals, 20% chance to harvest pelts, regardless of the damage type used to kill the animal. That's good because I know for instance, like, well, most hunting you can't really do, at least with skittish animals, unless you're using ranged weapons or spells. And like I hunted a bit with Arna or with Jonna with her spells, and if you use like fire spells, it usually damages the pelt and you don't get anything out of it. Maybe a little bit of meat, but that's about it. And actually, I believe there's a chance when you kill animals with fire-based spells that the meat comes out cooked, which can be kind of an upside. You don't have to find a fire to cook it. But anyway, extra experience, and you get, oh, and it increases based on all the dens you find. That's pretty cool. Grants one stat point for every 4 types of dens, hunting grounds, or caves cleared out for the first time. So, depending on the den, and I've played a little bit with the new content. just off stream to kind of get prepared. And I did notice that even animals that were less scary before are now even scarier. I found a wolf den, and I didn't stand a chance. Not even close. I was at like level 3 or 4, I think, and I got massacred. That being said, I mean, this guy is kind of specialized in hunting, so he might be cool for that. Daggers, axes, ranged weapons also, and staves, and agility, perception, vitality. All right, next is Jana. Magical erudition grants 6% power of the corresponding school and extra miracle potency for each unique sorcery treatise in the inventory. Okay, so if you carry around the treatises are the books that help you learn a skill tree. So if you have treatises for magic skill trees, she actually just gets bonuses just for having them in her inventory. That's pretty cool. It's very flavorful too, you know, a mage running around with a bunch of books. Extra or less backfire chance for each sorcery treatise read for the first time. Reading a complete set adds +2 to miracle set chance. I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think miracle is basically like critical strike, but in magic instead of physical. Grants extra experience for each learned sorcery ability. That's pretty cool. So yeah, she's all about magic, perception, vitality, willpower. Yeah, pyromancy, geomancy, electromancy, arcanistics, and magic mastery. Plus staves, which staves are one of the few weapon types that don't give you a penalty to using magic. Last time I played, pyromancy and geomancy were a thing, but the rest of the electromancy and arcanistics were not. So it might be cool to check out the new magic trees. Oh, by the way, she's also human. So is Derwin. They're all from Aldor. And then now we've got the quote-unquote DLC characters, the newer characters that I haven't played much with. I've tried Hilda a bit, or no, it was Leostinus I've played with. He is also human, but he's from Nistra. You can see this little icon here means they're from the DLC character pack, thankfully, which is free. All right, Leostinus. So this is kind of like a spell sword, if you know what that is, from like Oblivion. He's all about magic in one hand, weapon in the other kind of thing. He gets extra magic power and experience for each weaponry ability you have. He has extra weapon damage and experience for each sorcery ability you have, so they both help each other out. And then for any utility abilities, you get extra max health and extra energy, which are also really, really good. Getting max health up can be difficult. The only ways to really do it are to pump a bunch of points into vitality or to level up itself. Leveling it up itself also increases it. So you have an easy way to increase them outside of that. Maces, two-handed maces, and shields, also good with armor, warfare, and the spell tree that he starts out with is geomancy, which is like earth-based, like rocks and stuff. Really cool. Maces tend to have kind of a knockback theme, and geomancy you can actually create like a pillar of rock, and you can like place it behind the enemy and then knock them back into it. It's really cool. Really cool. All right, Mayhir is the first elf you can play as. He has lifelong journey. So plus extra experience and fatigue resistance for each location you visit for the first time on the map. And vigor, usually you get vigor, like I was saying before, randomly. Wait, I'm trying to remember if vigor is Give me 1 second. Because there's a bonus for sleeping for a certain amount of time. Yeah, that's vigor comes from sleeping, usually. But you get vigor for 600 turns the first time you find a location, which is really cool. That's pretty useful for like doing quests. You know, you get the vigor from the town because you slept there, and then you travel to the dungeon. Usually, by the time you get to the dungeon, you're mostly out of vigor. This helps you re re up your vigor, which is really cool. And you get extra ability points for every ability learned, or every 6 abilities learned in a tree. So he really rewards you for specializing in one tree. Agility, perception, and willpower. Daggers, dual wielding. So those go hand in hand pretty well. Pun intended. Staves, athletics, pyromancy, and arcanistic. So he is also, he can kind of go either way, either weapons or magic. Exmo says going for sling build. You know, I might try that out. I did see that they add slings to the game. Yeah, you know, I'm tempted to do that. So we'll find it. We'll pick a character that has that has ranged weapons as their specialty. One of their specialties. All right. So last in the list is Hilda. Her ability Wild Hunt starts the game with resourcefulness already learned and a bone charm that allows the character to sacrifice special hunting trophies. So I don't remember what resourcefulness does. And a hunting trophy sacrifices grants the bone charm various bonuses that can be further empowered by killing respective animals and beastly bosses. Each character level increases the threshold for activating negative effects caused by hunger, thirst, pain. Oh, that's really cool. So she's more resistant to hunger, thirst, pain, intoxication, and fatigue. That's really good. Lets you stay out for longer before going back to a town. She's also got ranged weapons. Let's see, spears, ranged weapons, athletics, magic mastery, axes, two-handed axes. Oh yeah, she's also a dwarf. Okay, so for ranged weapons, we've got Hilda, we've got Derwin, or we've got Velmir. And since Hilda is one of the new characters, I'm tempted to play her. Yeah, I think I'll go with Hilda. Let's try her out. And let's read her story. Life in Fjall is fraught with many hardships, so every pair of skilled hands is in demand. From an early age, Hilda was drawn to the dangers of snowy wastelands and stormy seas, and she never missed a chance to join a hunting party, tracking yet another monster that roamed Fjall's grim slopes. The word of the talented young huntress quickly spread among her clan, and when a whaling crew invited her to help them bring down a sea leviathan, Hilda, ever eager for adventure, readily agreed. Alas, the expedition ended in disaster. The prey outsmarted its pursuers. The Drakkar sank beneath the waves, with Hilda as the only survivor, miraculously spared by the icy waters of the northern sea. Unconscious, she washed ashore on a barren rocky island. The next few months were a relentless struggle against the elements, cold, and hunger. There she honed her skills, hunting the creatures that inhabited the jagged cliffs, beasts fierce and unlike anything she had ever seen. It wasn't until half a year later that a passing Scadian merchant longboat, bound for Aldor, discovered and rescued the ragged and half-feral Hilda. Thus she soon found herself in a foreign kingdom, where, upon hearing tales of Gulons, trolls, and other strange creatures, he decided to stay a while longer. Excellent. So, she's also a bit of a hunter, similar to Derwin, but we're going to go with Hilda.
Is that so? Interesting. Anyway, enough pleasantries. It's time to get to work.
All right. Trying to make a Derwin sling and spear build, aka sticks and stones work. Love it. Love it. You gotta let me know how that goes. Use those sticks and stones to break some bones.
So here's the deal. I can't walk to Bryn with my leg like this. So unless you plan to carry me, we need a cart. We need horses. We're in luck, though. While you were away, I had a talk with the village elder. We came to an agreement. We'll do a couple of tasks for them, and they'll give us a cart and 2 horses. Don't worry about the job. It's nothing special. I don't think you need my advice on how to deal with brigands or the undead. The elder will give you the details. You should go see him right away. No time to waste. Ah, I almost forgot. Here's a map of the area. You need it more than I do.
Cool.
You can
All
also
right.
ask the innkeeper about local events. He is a talkative kind. I'm sure he'll answer any of your questions. Off you go then. Good luck.
All right, here we go. So first, let's check out our gear. See what we got. Hilda's spear. Piercing damage. Okay. Hilda's crafted the spear herself from the debris washed ashore after the shipwreck. Her hands remember every scratch and groove on the weathered shaft. I dubbed this spear Wilson. If you know, you know. Old shirt. So the purple text here indicates it's a unique item to the character. I don't remember if unique items otherwise have purple text. It's been a while, so. But usually they have 1 or 2 unique items to them, each character. Yeah, so here's her amulet. Oops. Press the space bar. Okay. Prone to superstition, Hilda believes the amulet her mother gave her long ago is the very thing that helped her survive on the island. Okay, so. Now I want cheese. Okay, so this is the bone charm. Oh, that must be something in the inventory. Okay, let's see what we got. Otherwise, does she have a swap? No. Okay, so we'll need to buy a bow. Or I'm not buy a sling. Or not. I lied. We don't need to buy a sling. Okay, so we got Wilder Sling. All right, well, let's just go ahead and swap to that. And so stones. Apparently, there's different types of weapons you can use, or different types of ammunition you can use. Stones are kind of the most basic. I mean, you can find them on the ground. Minus 70% to accuracy. That is part of being a ranger. Is you take a big hit to accuracy, and you have to use skills to make up for it. All right, so your water skin is very important to have. Let's see, she has a hunting net. You can throw nets on animals or people, and that can be pretty useful. I haven't really delved much into that. It does seem kind of funny to throw a net on people and then throw rocks at them. Okay, so water skin, yeah, you want to have that on you. Your purse, coin bag. So there is a chest in each of the different inns that is kind of your own personal storage. It's not shared between the inns. Each inn has its own storage. But that just does mean that you do have a place to store stuff. Every time you fulfill a contract for the local government, they'll give you money in a sack. I do recommend hanging onto those sacks. You can merge the money into one sack, but after it's full, you're going to need another sack. Otherwise, money takes up so much space. All right, we got a torch. We got the map. We can go ahead and use that now. Fills in the area roughly. You see some points of interest on the map. The Drunken Woodsman Inn, the mill. These are always on the map somewhere. The map is somewhat randomly generated. Oaken Barrel Brewery is always close by. Some of these other ones I don't actually know about. Pilgrim's Rest. And each tile will have a description of what it is. So this is a mountains, this is a pine forest, and you'll see the features. So there's water here, there's a river. That's pretty cool. And yeah, this will fill in as you go along. The colored areas where you've already been to that tile. The tanned out areas are places you haven't been. All right. So we can actually just store this. Once you read the map, you don't actually need to keep it in your inventory to use it, which is good because you do have limited space. Roasted tough meat. Okay, so usually each character starts out with some sort of meat or some sort of food item. Okay, we'll go back to the bone charm in a second. So she has a dagger she starts out with. Some antlers can be used through crafting menu to empower the bone charm, granting +2 max energy. Okay, so this is kind of their way of giving you a tutorial on how the bone charm works. All right, leeches, much like they've been used for in real life, they help to suck out any kind of bad stuff in your body, but they do cause some pain, of course. Bandages, you want to have lots of bandages on you also. Bleeding will kill you very quickly, so you want to have that. Also splints, you want to have a few splints to stabilize any heavily injured body parts. Combine those with some medicinal salve to heal up your limbs. You can actually see here you've got health for each of your different body parts. The lower the condition of each body part, the lower your max health. So you have to heal up to be able to heal up to your maximum health. And then let's take a look at the bone charm. While in the inventory, grants bonuses that can be added through the crafting menu with rare hunting trophies. The bonuses are empowered by killing respective animals and are refreshed by using more trophies of the required type. Charm can grant up to 3 different bonuses simultaneously. Upon reaching the limit, a new bonus will replace the oldest one. Interesting. If Norheim hunters are to be believed, the spirit of a slain animal can be compelled to offer aid through a special incantation, though its exact words are known only to a few. Cool. All right. So that's our gear. And we start out with 2 ability points to kind of get us started on our build. And I said we're doing slings, so we're doing slings. Now imagine now that slings are a thing, the ranged weapons tree applies to both bows, crossbows, and slings. Okay, so taking aim. This is all but required to make ranged weapons work, especially regular bows. Regular bows have a big penalty to accuracy. Crossbows have slightly less penalty to accuracy, but you also need to reload them every other turn. This is very much a turn-based game, so don't expect anything fast-paced. You use this for a turn, it increases your accuracy by a lot. It also increases your range and weapon damage, gives you extra knockback chance. Bonus to accuracy depends on the number of learned ranged weapon abilities. So ranged weapons really benefit from investing in the ranged weapon skill tree. This effect is removed if not equipped with a ranged weapon. You can't take aim and switch to a different weapon. Constant practice, this is a passive. Reduces the distance penalties to accuracy and fumble chance. Reduces the penalties to accuracy when shooting over small and medium-sized obstacles. And reduces accuracy penalty to bonus when shooting at adjacent targets. Yeah, so the further away your enemies are, the harder they are to hit. Although there's also a penalty if they're right next to you or very close to you. Grants slingshots plus 30% accuracy. Each tile of distance to the target reduces this bonus by 5%. Okay, so I'll probably want that since I am going to go slings. I want to get that early. Dexterity, another passive. Killing enemies with melee strikes activates taking aim for 1 turn. That's pretty cool, actually. That'd be good with the sticks and stones build you were talking about. If the weapon is a crossbow, also instantly reloads it. Wow, that's kind of incredible. Not only do you get the reload, which takes a turn, you also get taking aim, which takes another turn. So it essentially saves you 2 turns if you kill an enemy with melee and then switch to your crossbow. If equipped with a ranged weapon, switching to the loadout with a melee weapon doesn't take a turn. That's also really powerful if you're doing a dual build with both. Which, to be honest, we are going to focus on ranged weapons, but you don't want to go all ranged weapons. You're going to need to fight in close range sometimes, and you're going to want something more than just your ranged weapon. Halves the chance of ammo to break upon hitting its target. This affects fumbled and blocked shots as well. That's also really good. That's more like an economical thing, but altogether, this is pretty good. Although not required right away, I wouldn't say. And then distracting shot. I remember this from the last time I played a ranged character. This one is really fun. You essentially charge in the opposite or in a certain direction, and then you shoot somebody in the direction that you came from. So perform a charge toward the targeted tile. Before charging, takes a shot at the closest enemy with the attack range with lower damage, but you have higher chance to immobilize them. Gives you extra energy restoration if you hit the target. Also reduces the cooldown, so this one's very useful too. I mean, all abilities are good. They're abilities after all. If equipped with a sling, grants the skill +1 range, and hitting the target reduces its cooldown by 2 turns. That's pretty cool. Okay. We're going to probably start with 2 of the ranged skills or abilities, but we're just going to quick go over. Examine surroundings. This one is assigned to 1 by default, and you definitely want to use this skill often. It takes a turn, but you can find traps and secret passages. Secret passages, at least last time I played, were pretty rare, but when you do find them, they can have some good stuff. Also, traps are a quick way to die, so you don't want to miss them. There is a passive chance based on your perception to see traps randomly, but with examine surroundings, you guarantee see them. Grant element of surprise grants strikes and shots against unaware targets. So this is kind of your stealth hit. Crafting. So crafting is new. There was no crafting last time I played. And set a flame. So you can use a torch to light things on fire. That's funny. Okay. Probably not going to be using dual wielding. Dual wielding very much requires investment in both dual wielding and whatever weapon you're using. So not likely since we're going to be using ranged weapons. Warfare, kind of just general skills. Notice that they're locked. We have to read the books to unlock dual wielding warfare. Athletics is one of our starting skills. So attacks of opportunity happen when you try to move away from an enemy. So disengage helps you lower the chance of that happening. Basically. We're not going to read every little bit of every skill, but we're going to go over them quick. Leg sweep. This helps you immobilize enemies. Full blocks and dodges grant control resistance and move resistance. Over 90 turns, remove stun, daze, stagger, or immobilization upon receiving them. Okay, that's neat. And mighty kick. This one helps you kind of push the enemy away from you. This one can be pretty useful. I remember I had it with Derwin back in the day. You catch them, get them out of your personal space, and then shoot them. All right, armored combat's not one of our survival. So one of the ones I like to get relatively early. Make a halt. means that when you're resting, you can just sit in place and rest for however many turns you want, and it helps you heal up your energy and health. But normally, your vigor from sleeping will go away while those turns are being taken. And with this, they don't go away. Your vigor stays in place while you rest. Also, you can sleep in bedrolls in camps. So if you find a camp nearby a dungeon, you can get that vigor refreshed at that camp. Cauterize wounds. This can be useful if you run out of bandages. It's not a perfect solution, but it does stop the effects of bleeding in a pinch, so it can be useful to have. Until you have it, make sure you have bandages. If you run out of bandages, go back to town. You do not want to be caught without them. Resourcefulness allows you to butcher animals. We probably will be doing some hunting, considering we're using slings. All right, magic mastery. She also has some magic. All right, let's see what before we go to that, let's look at the different trees. Well, it looks like, okay, she doesn't have any trees unlocked, so interesting that she has magic mastery. Seal of finesse just kind of helps you be more likely to hit with your spells and not backfire. That hurts you. Precise movements, remaining on the same tile grants. So you can, if you stay in place with this, it helps you not have backfires. Each point of received magic or nature damage replenishes energy. Oh, that's cool. So if you're facing other mages, it helps you with your magic. And Seal of Power. Very complicated one. There's different things for different skill trees. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because we're probably not going to be using much magic, if any. All right, so now we know what we're doing. Let's go with taking aim and constant practice. So you can see the next skill tree next skill tier is locked. You can hover over them to see each skill has a requirement. So to get the whole tier, you read Ranged Weapons Treatise Level 2, or whatever it's called, I can't remember. And then it'll unlock all of them. If you don't find that book, you can also unlock them by investing points in certain attributes and reaching a certain level. So it looks like read the corresponding treatise to unlock this ability, or reach level 10, or invest in at least 7 more points into the following attributes. So usually it's related to what you're doing anyway. Agility, perception are things we want. And they all want either agility or perception. But we don't have to worry about those for now because we're not even close to getting there yet. Also, all the abilities have prerequisites, so we couldn't take spot weakness even if we had the agility or perception or level until we took taking aim. Okay. As you can see, taking aim was automatically applied to number 2 on our bar. Butchering is number 9, and crafting is 0. Okay. One of the things you should do is ask for rumors when you're in town. You're a friend of Varen, right? Welcome to the Black Boar. There's no finer establishment for leagues. Frankly, I wouldn't even bother with that overpriced hovel in Manshire they call a tavern. So, do you need more beer, or are you here for a chat? So, at the local inns, you can get a room, and that allows you to save the game. You cannot save the game in other ways besides sleeping in a bed or saving and exiting if you're done for the day or done for the session. Saving and exiting will bring you right back to where you were, but that save goes away once you go back into the game. With the sleeping saves, they stay. If you die, you restart back where you last slept. They also sell food and drink, and you want to carry some food with you. And I like to have 2 water skins, although you don't necessarily need that. Usually 1 is enough. But especially if you know you're going to go into a tough dungeon, you want to make sure you don't run out of water. And also food is good to have a good stock of. As you're traveling to dungeons, you can usually find like bushes with berries and stuff, or random herbs that you can eat. But the real food comes from either butchering animals and cooking their meat, or buying stuff in towns. Um, yeah. So heard anything interesting? There's always an option like that in each of the NPC's dialogue, with a few exceptions. And sometimes they'll point out points of interest on your map. So this truce has been dragging on for far too long. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but mark my words, something terrible will happen once it ends. A calm like this only comes before the fiercest of storms. So that was more kind of a general, just what's going on in the world. What's the talk around here? The truce is great and all, but all it really means is the war will happen tomorrow instead of today. Anyone with half a brain can see that. So you can keep asking about rumors until they tell you, hey, I'm done talking about rumors. And what do you think this time is being spent on? That's right, on finding better ways to kill each other. I can feel it. The moment this truce ends, the realm will drown in its own blood. You say it again, all in good measure, that's enough talk for now. That's basically them saying we're done with rumors. There's some other dialogue options, but we don't need to do that for now. We should buy some food, though. We do have this, but we'll grab a little bit something else. And I usually go for things that have a higher, like, how much hunger it heals to how much gold it costs ratio. So this costs 21 gold, reduces hunger by 10%, whereas this is only 5% and costs 11 gold, so it's slightly less efficient. Also, different things have different morale changes. So, like, the cheese doesn't have any change in morale, but if you eat flatbread by itself, you have a slight morale reduction. You probably don't want to eat salt on its own. This is an additive. All it would do is increase your thirst. And also, salting things means that they don't expire as fast, so you can see the spoils in a certain amount of days. Then there's more complicated dishes. And apparently with the crafting, you can now make these. Vegetable salad costs 20 gold, but it's minus 12%. It's actually pretty good. It takes up more space, but it's better than cheese. Osbrook bread bowl stew. Very expensive, but boy, oh boy, does it heal you for a lot. And it gives you some other buffs. We're definitely not buying that right now. We only have 180 gold, so we want to get some cheap stuff. Loaves of bread. Also increase your thirst and lower your morale. Fried eggs. Well, that's pretty good. Although they spoil in 2 days. I mean, usually you're not going to run into issues with spoilage. You're going to need to eat it before too long, unless you buy too much. There are select foods that don't spoil, like preserved meats and stuff like that. I'm not sure if you can actually make them now with the new crafting system. Pot roast. It's not bad for its cost. And then root salad. Vegetables, so 20. All right, so we're going to buy the vegetable salad and root salad. My favorite. We'll hunt some of our own food pretty soon here. Okay, so really quick, we're going to hop up to the upper area. In this inn, this top left room is the room you rent when you rent a room. This chest, as far as my experience goes, I've never had anything disappear by leaving it in here, so I think it's safe. Let's see. Let's put the hunting net away for now. Might come back and grab it if we decide we want to do some active hunting. There's an auto sort option. We can put this on. Oh no, we already have the spear. That's right. Okay. So That's stored. Now head back down. Let's. Actually, I don't think this guy can give rumors. We'll just skip him for now. He's kind of a jerk anyway. All right. Talk to the barmaid. Liveth. Heard of anything interesting? I don't know, and I don't care. I have enough on my plate already. Cooking this, bringing that, washing, cleaning. It's a dog's life, and I spit on it. And you keep asking her. Before the war, there were plenty of unexplored places, but now even the roads are overgrown with weeds. Danger lurks around every corner. Bandits are one thing, but what are we supposed to do about all those beasts and critters that have been breeding like crazy these past few years? Well, at least you mercenaries won't be left without a job. And I don't have any more news to share that's telling us we're done. Okay. The guy that gave us our quest, Baron, used to give us a ring. I don't think he still does though. Any questions? Yes, a couple. Yeah, there used to be an option and he would give you a ring, but he doesn't do that anymore. Who exactly is Gwinnell? An old acquaintance of mine. I've had many dealings with him over the years, but this is the first time I'm working directly for him. A sharp fellow, but not without his quirks. He's also a royal alchemist, or at least he used to be. Have you heard of Gwinnell's elixir? He's the one responsible for its creation. First time I'm hearing about it. What's this elixir about? This elixir was his life's work. Cure for every disease. A panacea. He made mountains of gold selling it. But let's just say after a while, quite a few folks healed by it regretted not dying instead. Gwinnell almost lost his head over it. But King Etbert decided to show mercy and replaced the execution with exile. Since then, Gwinnell has been keeping a low profile, but he never stopped his experiments. Still trying to figure out what went wrong, I imagine. Anything else? So that's a little bit of backstory on the guy that hired Varen and when things went wrong with him and his friends. He lost half of his party in the prologue. You learn about it. All right, we'll talk to the town drunk. Well, why don't we go let our throats to celebrate this meeting, eh? Do you have any work for me? Well, listen, I have a task. Do you think I like my life has come to? No, I despise it. I lost everything just because of his highness's whim. It's haunting me. So I can't put into words this will. I need something stronger. Forget. You help a lonely, feeble veteran of 3 war campaigns. Brandy. A bottle, a cup, a sip. Bring it to me. All right? Deal. All right, so we got a quest. Get a bottle of brandy and bring it to the town drunk. Always support your local drunk, I guess. All right, so this is the town square. Got different vendors. These 3 sell different types of food. Got the blacksmith over here and the general goods merchant. He's usually the best place to sell your random loot, but certain things can be sold to the blacksmith. There's also a couple other merchants we'll get to. The well, you can drink directly from it, and you can also collect water and refill your water skins. All right, traveling south. Over here on the left, we've got the tailor. So blacksmith repairs metallic gear. The tailor. Now, who the hell are you? Another mercenary? Well, isn't this a surprise? And a dwarf on top of that? As if things weren't bad enough already. Do you have something against me? No, why would I? Everything is as it should be. The king is dead. The realm is ravaged by war. All kinds of scoundrels wander the roads, and dwarves climb down from their mountains acting like they haven't been raiding us for the last 200 years. But who am I to complain? Just some old boar who doesn't deserve a grain of respect. Am I right? Anyway, I hope you'll manage to survive a bit longer than our last hero. Right. Rumors? Bah, if anyone has told me a decade ago that it would all come to this, I'd never have believed it. War, plague, famine. So much misfortune in just a couple years. And I'm sure the worst is yet to come. How many patches do you need, huh? I'd rather not spend any more time on my day on idle gossip. All right, so you can barter. There's the bartering screen. And if you click this button, you can repair lost gear. Looks like our stuff already started a little worn, so we'll go ahead and get some repairs in. Let's see, 9 and 4, that's 13, 14, plus 31, 45, plus 5, so 50 gold if we want to repair it all. I mean, we at least want to repair the sling, and probably our boots. The rest can probably wait. We don't really want to spend a bunch of money until we make some more. I do like picking up a knapsack, but before I decide on that, we'll look around for some other stuff. We definitely want to visit the alchemist and pick up some more healing supplies. Knapsack is nice because you can put it on your back and open it up and put more stuff in it. As your reputation in a town grows, what the merchants will sell you grows as well. All right, over here we've got the woodworker. Sells bows and such. Anything made of wood. Hello, hello. Are you one of those mercs the entire village has been bustling about all day? Good to have you here. Maybe you'll bring some order at last. Waiting for Odar to do something about this is a waste of time. Doesn't the village have guards to maintain said order? Who did you call guards? It's either geezers or yesterday's youngsters who had weapons handed to them. Now they are to serve and protect, so to speak. Each of them is still wet behind the ears, or even worse, is way too long in the tooth. I'm telling you, they'll all be slaughtered come the real fight. Something that Odar doesn't care about. Nah, we used to have more than enough lads in Osbrook. Now they are either dead in the ground or serve under someone else's banners. We barely have any able-bodied men left in the village. Right now it's just me, the smith, and a couple more lads. What else are you interested in? So we can take a look at his stuff. You can see he sells arrows, bows, and mostly other wooden supplies. And he repairs your wooden gear, which we don't really have any except our spear, which is in perfect condition. You'll also notice things that are highlighted, you can sell them to the NPC. If they're not highlighted, you can't sell them to that person. And you'll get different amounts depending on who you sell things to. So, say you have a sword, it'll sell more to the blacksmith than the woodworker, for instance. And that's just to name a few things. All right, and then down here on the path, we've got this guy, the alchemist. Brid. I know my herbs. Everyone will tell you that. What's the talk around here? The last time I traveled, I noticed lights in the distance. I approached to investigate. Turned out some odd characters had set up camp in the clearing. It wasn't worth the risk to stick around and chat, but I can tell you where I saw them if you want. So you can see, new rumor, he gives you another location on your map. What's the talk? If you're hell-bent on venturing into the woods, make sure you watch your step. There are still claw traps from pre-war days scattered everywhere. We use them to hunt wolves, bears, deer. You also wouldn't want to step on a viper with the closest healer a day's walk away. And stay on your guard when exploring old crypts. The Order spared no expense on traps. Very few are lucky enough to survive them. And even though I don't miss King Edbert, life was much simpler and jollier with him around. I still remember the fairs we used to have. Songs, dances, colorful buntings everywhere. You could buy so much food with just a couple crowns, you'd need a week to properly digest it. It's been a long time since we had a celebration like that. And, yep, that's the end of that. All right, so we want at least a couple more packs of bandages. You can see the little dots on the bottom left. It tells you how many uses you have left. You can also see it in the tooltip. I like to carry at least 3 rolls. A couple things of healing salves. They have 3 uses per. And yeah, so this stuff it's not cheap. Definitely not cheap, but it will save your life, so it's worth picking up. So another splint, and that's pretty much all our gold. This is way more important than any kind of upgrades in weapon or gear. But don't worry, there will be plenty more gold to be had. All right, so from here, let's head up to talk to the magistrate and get some quests. Get into the real meat and potatoes. So this is the magistrate's office. When you're starting out, you can go talk to this guy. Are you the new mercenary? I expected someone tougher. You'll have to do, I suppose. I've been told to provide you with equipment. We don't have much in terms of weaponry, but it should suffice. What can I get you? So you pick a category. Ranged weapon, two-handed weapon, one-handed weapon. Let's just see what ranged weapons he has. Okay, so he pretty much has everything. Just whatever type of weapon you want. Oops. I didn't take anything. You know what? I'm going to live with the decision. It's fine. We have gear. No big deal. All right, so this upstairs area, this is where the magistrate lives and works. Haven't seen dwarves around here in years. I hear your people are ferocious. We could definitely use someone ferocious right now. Though. Just make sure to behave while you're in the village. What do you need my help with? Varen didn't tell you? Haven't had capable mercenaries in Osbrook for quite a while. So there's a lot to deal with. Gangs, cults, the undead. Lots of places around here attract filth like that. We don't have many guards, so I can't afford any of them dying. That's why I need a mercenary. And what about affording a mercenary dying? I might have put it a bit too bluntly, but that's what you're being paid for. You take big risks, and I reward you well in return. It's only fair. Let's get to business then. I have several contracts available. If you fulfill a couple of them, then we are even. You'll have your cart and your horses. So what do you say? Only one contract remains. Hostage rescue. Ready to discuss it? The brigands in these parts are growing more and more brazen. They've gone from simple robbery to murder and kidnapping. Just recently, they got a jump on Tancred while he was riding a cart back to the village. The host be praised, they spared his life for a ransom. So now he's being held somewhere below the fort at the outskirts. I reckon the gold would be better spent on a mercenary like you. These thugs only speak one language. It's a straightforward job. Deal with the bandits as you see fit and get the hostage out alive. Can you handle it? Tell me what I should expect. Ask away. What's the reward? 340 crowns? I need more. If that's what it takes, 420 crowns it is. But mark my words, too much greed never ends well. How much time do I have? No more than 3 days. What can you tell me about the location? You shouldn't get lost in there. It's just a few halls. That's all. Understood. Who's in charge there? An escaped convict. Tread carefully. He has a reputation for cruelty that unnerves even his own underlings. All right. And I accept. Excellent. You have 3 days to resolve this matter. You can claim the reward from me or the captain at the roadside tower. Roadside tower. Okay, good to know. Oh, you can also collect it from the bailiff. He makes rounds between the mill and the Drunken Woodsman Tavern. I'm sure you'll run into him one way or the other. Mill and the drunk. Okay. Bailiff. All right, so that's that. There's a bit of a shortcut here. All right, so let's go talk to the blacksmith. I know that, well, there's a few people that have quests for me, so I'll go ahead and get those. So talk to the general goods merchant. Bert. Ah, a mercenary. Fresh from the road? Let me give you a piece of advice. Stick with me and you'll be rolling in gold in no time. Stick with you? How so? I have a business offer to you. The previous mercenary used to bring me all kinds of wares and I paid him generously for them. Everyone was happy with that deal. So how about you? And I have the same arrangement. What did he sell you? Whatever he could find. You know how it is with mercs. Trophies, booze, trinkets. I strongly believe that everything has its use. Everything can be sold as long as you have some business sense. You'll get ahead in life. Do you have any work for me? There's an opportunity for profit. I met an elf at the Bryn Market who urgently needed a bison pelt and a pair of horns. He promised a huge amount of money in return. He didn't say what he needed those things for, but what does it matter as long as he pays? If you bring me a bison pelt and horns, I'll share the money with you. We have more than enough beasts wandering the nearby steppes. I bet you are a skillful hunter. I'm sure you'll manage. So, deal? Sure. And I have a quest to get the bison pelt and horn. It might be a while, because taking a bison down, they're no slouches in combat, let me tell you. They'll take you out. All right. Heard anything interesting? Someone once told me that living in countryside isn't safe, but why would anyone think city life is any better? At least we've got food on our table. When the famine hit, all hell broke loose within the city walls. I heard people that there were at each other's throats, fighting for every last chunk of bread. Have you ever been to Bryn? I've heard plenty of stories about it. They say life there isn't as tough, and their noblemen have plenty of coin to spend. I wonder if it's time to finally leave our boondocks behind. This place is a poor fit for the savvy. There's nothing remarkable about this dump, just another godforsaken place. Part with wares or revs only once a week. Unless it gets robbed on its way here, of course. But folks in this village only spend money on stuffing their stomachs. Let's just say it's not the best place for business. Why don't you leave then? I'll leave for Bryn eventually. However, it's too dangerous to travel alone. I tried to cut a deal with Odar, but he charged me so much for protection that I had to drop the idea. I can't afford this kind of expenses yet. I see. You are an enterprising soul. Well, if you find an answer to your question, make sure you let me know. There aren't many opportunities to spend money in Osberg, and even less to earn them. What, nothing for a mercenary to do here at all? There might be a contract or two. Odar or our elder hounds them out left and right. Too bad most of those who take them rarely come back. You can also ask our craftsmen. They're always in search of materials. Thanks for the advice. I don't have any more news to share. So he's just kind of got general goods. Sometimes you can pick up pretty cool jewelry off of him with some good stats. Scrolls are good to have. Identification is very important. And enchantment scrolls are even more valuable. You can use them on a piece of gear to add magical properties to it. Although we don't really have the gold for anything right now. We could probably sell this dagger, but I think it'll sell. Well, it'll sell for more to the blacksmith. All right, blacksmith Jabbar looking for repairs. You have any work for me? Here's the deal. Odar ordered me to forge a bunch of new swords for our guards. However, I can't bring myself to waste good iron on them. They don't even dare step outside the village. What the hell do they need good swords for? So that's what I have in mind. Bring me some junk swords. I'll fix them up and put them to use. Cleavers and other crude, simple blades will work the best. 3 of them should be enough. I'll pay you much more for that crap than you would usually get. Deal. So any 3 swords we get from bad guys, notably, usually, unless it's in good condition, most weapons and armor you'll find out in the wild on enemies is not going to be worth carrying. They won't sell for very much. In fact, even some stuff in perfect condition won't sell for much. You see, this only sells for 4 gold. We don't need it, so we're just going to pop it to sell it, get that extra 4 gold. He also looks like sells extra ammo types. Lead shot. That's pretty cool. Can't afford it right now, but definitely interested in that later on. Sling bullet. Cool. You also get caltrops and other things. Yeah, so we need to find things like this or this on enemies. Bring 3 of them back and he'll give us some gold. A crowbar could be useful, but we don't really have the money. Lockpicks are also good to have. Okay. And then we're just see who else had drops for me. I think the Taylor has a job you can take. Yeah, he has another job that we won't be able to do for a while. That's okay. Let me guess, you want me to patch your shirt. How many patches do you people need, huh? All right. Do you have any work for me? What do you think you can help me with, kid? Although, yes, I may have a task for you. Have you ever hunted for a bear, eh? I'm asking because I need a bear pelt. That damn oaf visiting our village decided that his cloak has to be lined exclusively with bear fur. What are we even supposed to do? We are small people. When ordered, we bow and promise to do as we are told. Do it how? Now that's an entirely different matter. I'll pay through the nose for that pelt. I'm also eager to see how you'll manage. Maybe you aren't that bad after all. So what do you say? All right, so we got to find a bear pelt. As you can imagine, bears are not easy to take down, and it probably will be a while before I go for that. But we have the quest when the time comes. This guy has a quest, I think. No, he doesn't. Okay. But one last person does. This guy. Should have grabbed it while I was down here. I forgot about it. No big deal. All right. Well, we're about to get into the meat soon. Don't worry, guys. All right. Frid, do you have any work for me? My back is killing me. If I don't do anything about it now, in a couple days, I won't even be able to get up from bed. And still have work to do. Help an old man out. Go to the forest and pick some fresh herbs. The dried stuff I have here won't do it. So here's what I need for the ointment. A tuft of spearmint, a tuft of fleetwort, and a couple leaves of agrimony. Got it? If you bring it all here, I'll share some of my supplies with you. Deal. It's a relatively easy quest. Spearmint, fleetwort, and agrimony. So, if you hold down Alt, you'll see anything on the ground nearby. And you can actually, the setting of panning your screen, that's actually a setting you have to turn on in the settings, but I have it. So here we go. There's agrimony and spearmint there. Now we just need fleetwort. All right, got the agrimony, got the spearmint. Now this quest is pretty straightforward and simple and low risk. I'm not 100% sure you can find fleetwort in the starting town or not, but it's not too hard to find. You'll almost guaranteed stumble across them in your journeys. Raspberry shrub. So I always grab raspberry, blueberry, any kind of berry bushes. I grab them. The berries, they can help you stave off hunger and thirst for a while. Short while, but I mean in large amounts. Each of them lowers your hunger and thirst change and increases your morale. So you just chug these bad boys and stave off any kind of... Oh, I already had some agrimony. Well, that's okay. I can sell it to him. You can also collect these and sell them, I believe. I don't know how much they sell for. Let's find out. Might as well. A little extra gold. Maybe you have enough to buy something. I'm not sure what. Okay, looking around to see what we've seen. Doesn't look like there's anything in this town, so check out the map. Our quest for hostage rescues up and to the left. So we'll just head in that direction and see if we can find any fleet work. Oh. You can kind of move your map and then walk long distances by clicking. Remember, each step is a turn, and your condition changes as time goes on. Your hunger, your thirst, your fatigue. Morale and sanity both don't change as much as time goes on. They're more about what happens. So if you take a lot of damage, your morale might go down. If you get cursed, you might have a loss of sanity. So, periods of tiles. Oh, well, just look at that. These are beehives. Free food. Hold down shift and click and it'll move into your inventory. These are actually pretty good for food. And I believe you can sell them too. Free stuff. Excellent. All right, we'll grab the agrimony. As you can see, stones and sticks and stuff, they're pretty common. So we shouldn't have any trouble finding ammo. All right, we'll eat that. All right, we're full up on stuff already. All right. You automatically eat. You hold down Alt and click on the item. You'll automatically eat it. All right, we're looking for Fleetwort. Just walk around. You'll see lots of little messages about different animals running away. We could try to hit some, but for now, I'd rather just complete a quest or two. All right. Doesn't look like there's any Fleetwort. Okay, so you'll run across graves sometimes. You can dig them up by hand. That will worsen your hand's condition, and it'll take a long time. It'll also lower your morale. But you can buy a shovel, and you can be a grave robber if you want. All right, doesn't look like there's any Fleetwort on this map, or at least not in the parts I've seen. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, well, we're just going to keep heading that way, explore some more of the map, and see if we run into some Fleetwort on the way. Nettle, burdock, leek, henbane, wormwood. All these have varying effects. And I imagine now you can probably craft your own herbs and such if you know how to do it. All right. Yeah. So they don't really help your hunger or thirst. They just make it so that you don't get more hungry or thirsty out as fast. All right. right, Fleet, where are you at? All right. So there's something over here. You need to be careful. In fact, we didn't save at the end, so if we do die, we're going to start back basically at nothing, but that's okay. Be careful, and you should be fine. If it looks like some sort of monster den or animal den that is dangerous, we will probably just bolt. Oh, it's like a camp. Well, we could probably handle a camp of bandits if there's bandits here, and there is. So, if you can right-click on enemies and inspect them, then you find out more about him. He doesn't have any abilities. Former peasant who turned to a life of crime in a desperate attempt to avoid starvation fodder for unsavory and dangerous tasks. So, all right. So, what kind of range do we have? There's a way to show our range. I'm trying to remember. Anyway. Alright, couple dudes. The other guy's probably just... Oh, he's a rebel. And he has impaling lunge, so he can jump at you and hit you. Okay. Alright, so we have the range. Take aim. Ooh. Throw. And switch. We trade blows. And you can inspect them to see how close they are. Alright, he's dead. As they're running away, you can actually have a chance to hit them as you're chasing them. So, I'll show you what I mean about... Shoot. Let's drop this for now. So, Medicine Flail takes up 3 spots and it's only worth 27 gold. That's the total value of the item. It will sell for substantially less than that. Probably only like 3 or 4 gold. But not worth carrying around. Alright, we'll pick up our rocks. Alright, lootable places. Copper candlestick. Now, things like this are usually worth grabbing. They will sell for much more. Alright. I kind of usually maintain a full inventory and just found and replace things. Alright, so this is locked. We can break it open. We might mess up the stuff inside. Or we can try to pick the lock. We don't have lock picks. And there's also a bedroll here, so we could sleep here. Let's just break it open. Oh, wait. Let's use our spear. Ah, attack mode. That's it. Okay. There we go. Whatever it was, broke. Okay. No, of course, there may not have been anything in there at all. All right. So, to just quickly save the game, you can just rest. You don't have to... You can just keep it at its lowest to save it. But if you sleep, you can get bigger. We're going to go ahead and sleep. Gives us some vigor. We'll probably need to drink or eat. Yeah, so we're at... Now we have thirst. And it reduces our magic power, increases ability costs, makes us need sleep more, and reduces our morale. So, take a drink. Each drink, I believe, is what, 30%? No, 25%. You can also lower thirst with other things, but water is always going to be the best. I don't think there's anything better. Which makes sense, more realistic. Okay, so from here, we go straight north. Still looking for that fleetwort nest. Cool. We get an egg? Did. Poisoning chance. So let's try cooking ourselves an egg. All right, now we've got a boiled egg. Go ahead and just eat it. Hunger's still pretty low. And you see it took away the chance of getting sick, just like cooking something in real life would. Potentially. Excuse me. Bog bean, burdock, leek. The ground is leaky. Oh, we've got a bad guy. Enforcer. Mighty swing and mighty kick. So he can kick us. He can hit us with his big club. All right. We're going to switch to our... Okay, so... attack mode. All right. That shows us our range. Cool. So, you can either inspect your surroundings to use a turn, or press spacebar to end your turn. So, we are in attack mode. Okay, so take aim. Take aim. And switch. And then let them come to me. Alright, he's at 46%. Alright, he's immobilized though. The arm injury. Wait, why didn't he move? Maybe he's stuck. I don't know. Oh, he was affected by immobilization, but it went away. Okay, so he... Wait. Cool. Mead. That's probably worth picking up. Large club. Alright. And we'll just wait. And what is this guy? And he's just a regular goon. Yeah, he won't be hard to kill. And dead. So every time an enemy hits you, you have a chance to counter. That's what happened there to kill him. And then we can look at our stats. So you can see our head and torso are damaged. We can apply healing salve or leeches to them. Let's put a salve on each spot, and it increases our max health threshold. And then we'll make some room for this mead. 20 gold, not bad. The percentage chance of loot like that. Oh, fleet work, nice. All right, we'll drop the mind wart. That's what we needed. All right, now that we've got the herbs, let's make sure we're not missing any. So we needed agrimony, fleetwort, and spearmint. Agrimony, fleetwort, and spearmint. I've been saying it wrong. Okay, now we have those. We'll head back to town, sell off loot, and then save it and come back and go do the quest. We'll also gonna get an idea of how much herbs sell for and see if they're worth gathering to save up or to make some money. This is the mill. We might as well go get that on our map. Every location you find gives you free experience. So, like that camp gave us experience that we found. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Viper. And it's dead. Okay, we might be okay. We should be okay. Need to make some room. Oops, didn't mean to move. Yeah, okay, we're okay. All right, but we still have higher levels of intoxication now. And be butchered. Butcher. Meat morsels we can cook up. They're too small for using in dishes, but that's okay. All right, we don't need 2 agrimony, so we'll take the skin. And the skin is worth something too. Oh yeah, we need to do that thing. 0. Craft. Bone charm. All right, so how does that work? Max energy +2. Okay. Neat. Cool. Okay. Well, yeah, definitely want to head back, and did not see that viper until it was too late. Usually they run away before you even get close to them, but we must have just kind of come around the bush and it was hiding there. All right, this is the mill. We leveled up. Hilda is now level 2. So we get 1 stat point for the sake of efficiency, or not efficiency, for our accuracy. We want as much accuracy as we can get, and range. So we're going to go ahead and just pump points into perception, and then we get another skill point. Um, well, we do need some close range skills, so we might as well grab something. Okay. Precise hits. Grant spear strikes against targets affected by immobilization or net. Extra armor pen and body part damage. So you put them in a net and stab them. Deliver a strike to one of the target's legs with a 6% crit chance. If the target is adjacent, grants the strike plus 20 extra weapon damage, extra knockback chance. Target is 1 tile away, grants the strike extra body part damage and chance to immobilize. Impaling lunge delivers a strike to a 2x1 tile area. Extra damage to their body parts, armor pen, and bleed chance. Bleed is really good. Target is affected by immobilization or net, grants the strike minus 35% weapon damage, minus 100% immobilization chance, halves all other bonuses, and instantly refreshes the skill's cooldown. Interesting. And no retreat. Remaining on the same tile grants minus 3% cooldown duration, more weapon damage, more counter chance. Stacks up to 3 times, except moving to other tiles removes the effect except when moving with maneuvers. Okay. Or we could just keep. Actually, since. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. Maybe dexterity would be good so we can switch between our spear and our sling and be able to use our sling more by being able to switch back to it and use it. So that might be good. Also, might be good to have distracting shot to gain some distance to use our sling more. Um, let's just get some. Let's get dexterity. Okay. All right. How are our stones? Okay. We need more stones. Okay. So when you're out and about, usually it's better not to just try and run across an entire field. We're not going to hold more than just the regular amount of stones. Although, before we go into a dungeon, we'll probably collect some extra stones. Maybe like an extra stack of 10. To make sure we don't run out. Okay, and town is off to the right here. All right. All right, now that we're in town, it's pretty safe to just kind of travel across the map. And we're heading to... We'll grab some water. It'll help with our immunity and our thirst and our intoxication levels. You can see water changes your intoxication. Okay, it doesn't change your immunity, but that's okay. So you can see our intoxication goes down by drinking water. Slowly but surely. All right. I've finished your task. And he gives us some healing salves. Nice to have. Does he buy the honeycomb? He doesn't. Okay, he buys that 7, 20, 15, 10. Right? Probably this guy's going to sell our bio stuff for the most, but I'm not sure about the honeycombs. We could also just hang on to them. They do last for a really long time. Okay. Yeah. 17. 7 meat sells for the same amount. Okay, I am gonna check to see if the tailor will buy this for more, but I can tell you right now that the hourglass 23, Capper candlestick 17, those are gonna sell more. Here, it's for food and drink. I'm not sure. 7 also. Let's see how much the barkeep will buy them for. 7, same amount. All right. We'll just sell that. Beer can be useful, but overall, it's usually not worth it. If you're in pain and you find some, use it, but I wouldn't go out of my way to carry it with you. Also, it doesn't look like he buys the honeycomb, so we'll just hang on to it for our own personal use. Or maybe we can cook it. I haven't actually tried that. There is a fire in the inn. All right, we'll try that. And he does buy it for 12. I think that's more. It's fine. Not a big deal. We don't have to always get the max amount. All right. Sold that stuff off. Let's see if we can cook this honeycomb. Doesn't look like it. Little cat meowing. Can we add it to things? Ah, I see. Okay. So this is just cook anything in this little spot here. Might as well just eat these. All right. Good. All right. On to our quest. We're going to head to the camp first, save our game, and then head up. We should try hunting at some point, even if just for the little stuff. In fact, let's give it a shot. I want to say you can grab the butterflies. Yeah, you can. Huh, they're ingredients. Interesting. Okay. Take aim. Missed. I mean, they have a pretty high chance of dodging, I believe. Alrighty. Keeping an eye out for... I guess I might as well start collecting the stones for a second stack. Since we are going to be doing some hunting, and we're going to want them before we get to the dungeon anyway. Alright, that's a full second stack. I guess we might as well keep these until we get to the dungeon. Keeping an eye out for any critters that we can cook up. Mostly to just try out the hunting. Alright. There shouldn't be any new inhabitants of the camp. Rest. And head north. Oh wait, I forgot to... No, I didn't. I didn't carry any with me. Alright, we're just going to put this butterfly on the ground. We don't need it. We see like rabbits or hedgehogs or something like that, we'll go for them. Anything bigger than that, we probably shouldn't try it. We'll probably get murdered. Hit spotted. It's a bird, folks. That's a bird. Yeah. I mean, we're not likely to hit it, but we might as well take some practice. And we missed. I think they have a pretty inherently large chance to dodge, since they're so small and fast. On to the dungeon. Alright, we are on the tile. There will usually be some bad guys outside of the dungeon. Alright, here we are. Just be careful when you're approaching the dungeons. I mean, always be careful, but especially when you approach dungeons, they're almost guaranteed to be a sentry of some sort. Alright, here we go. Or down the outskirts. And there's another guy. What does this say? Equipped with a ranged weapon, switching to the loadout with a melee weapon doesn't take a turn. Okay. So we can actually take another shot before he gets in range. Nice. Okay, switch to our spear. And stabby, stabby. Got him. And this is just a regular goon. His will to fight has gone down, probably because we murdered his friend. Mercy. No mercy. Gonna try to kill me. Fang Pendant. Not likely is something we're going to use, considering we have this. This gives us extra accuracy, dodge chance. Not a lot, but rending resistance. This gives us crit chance, but keep this for now. Although, worth a little bit of gold. Barrel here, nothing in it. You can tell if you've looted a thing or looked in it. This gray icon means you've looked. This gold icon means you haven't. Ah, nice. Those are worth some good gold. They should be here when we come back out, so we're going to leave them in there for now. They take up a lot of space. But we'll probably want to grab them on the way out back to town. For some gold. Onion. Might as well grab the onion. I usually check weapons that drop just to see if they're any good. But usually they're not worth keeping. It's only worth 17 gold. Alright. There's a campfire if you want to cook anything. Doesn't look like I can just cook an onion by itself. But we can just pop that bad boy. Alright. In we go. And I guess I should switch back to my sling. So. That's really cool. I like that. Okay. So. 1. Examine surroundings. Do it as often as you feel you need to. You do not want to hit traps. Empty casing. Sweet. You can usually break barrels and such, depending on the type. Sometimes they have loot in them like that. Spool of thread, that's also worth something. Nice. That kind of stuff will be your bread and butter. And here we go. Switch to my... How can he hit me, see me, and I can't see him? That's weird. Usually that doesn't happen. Like he's out of arrows. Got a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, and we'll wait for him to come to us. Nice. He was mostly dead from our sling hits. So it didn't take much to kill him. Gaming dice. They're worth a little bit. And arrows stack up to 20, so if you get enough of them in a stack, they're usually worth bringing back with you. Grab our stones. Not an innuendo. My character's female. Get your mind out of the gutter. Okay, well, I guess since this door is already open, we can explore this area. Examine surroundings. See, right there. I didn't actually know that was there, but there will be traps. There will be no shortage of traps. Okay, so it looks like staying on my spear is the way to go because I can switch back to my sling and automatically take aim. So, lentils. So, the thing you can do as you go along is if you find food, just eat it. If you have hunger, that way it doesn't take up space. It's not going to sell for a lot anyway, and you help stave off hunger. You can try to disarm, but you only have a chance to disarm it. And if you fail, you trigger the trap, and it can hurt you. There's also sound traps, which do what they sound like. They alert people to your presence. All right. Gotta be careful here. This is kind of an open area I don't love. Just careful, one step at a time. Examine your surroundings. Design is pretty cool. All right, we got a bookshelf here, or a cupboard here. Nothing. Nothing. Also, when you break like barrels and crates and stuff, it does make sound, so they can hear that. Like you just heard that. That's fine. He wasn't aware of me yet. He just heard something. Which attack? What's he at? Ooh, got him. He did. Oh, and there's another guy. Even with taking aim, there's a chance you miss. Wow, that hurt. He is pretty injured, so we'll probably be able to get him. No problem. Nice. Okay, roasted meat morsels and a gooseberry. And pick up our stones. Search the area. Okay. Eat these meat morsels. This gooseberry. We'll hang on to these in case we get intoxicated by like poison or something. Map right there. Ah, sausage. So this is one of those food items that will stay forever. It doesn't have a spoil date. So kind of good to have. Also, it has multiple uses. So it's good to have one of these if you can get a hold of some as just kind of a backup, food source. I mean, it's not a bad food source either, It gives you hunger resistance and reduces your hunger. Okay. And just get in the habit of examining your surroundings constantly. Ooh, okay. This might be worth taking back, but we'll still only get like a fraction of the cost. It also takes up 8 slots. That's a lot. Fist shield. Same thing. It's probably not going to sell for much, but if we have space when we're leaving, we can think about grabbing them. Although there's those pelts and such in that crate outside, so we probably won't. All right, check the nightstand. Nice. Shift click puts it in your inventory right away. All right, we'll come back here if we find a lockpick. Don't want to bust it open and break the item. You can always come back. Silver nugget, nice. Worth a bit. Nice. Okay. Down this hallway. There's a bad guy. Oh, we didn't put stones up. That's why. Okay. Aim. Nice. Imagine getting hit by a rock so hard you fly backward. Oh man, he's toast. Nice. Holy cow. This sling's pretty awesome. Yeah. Nice. He bled to death. You can see bleeding here. All right. Homemade sword. So that's for the quest for the merchant or the blacksmith. We'll grab that. Stones. Looks like our retention rate for stones is pretty good. Check this rack. Sometimes racks can have good quality gear, but really that's not one of them. You can see the durability is down to 28. Another homemade sword. All right, let's eat some stuff to clear up some space. Let's eat. Doesn't matter. Eat this. All right, and we don't need the plate. We'll drop that. And we want to grab that sword, so we need to get rid of something else. Probably these dice. Examine our surroundings, make sure we don't run into a trap. You never know. I'll eat this lentil. So, if you eat more than you need, you'll get satiety. Satiety? I'm not sure how to pronounce that one, actually. Lowers your dodge chance, but gives you better stats. If you eat anything while you have this, you'll vomit. So don't do it. Okay. Keep herbal extract. That might be worth grabbing. Throw these on the ground for now. See what this is. Oh yeah, definitely. Helps you with pain. Kind of works similarly to like a beer or like an alcoholic drink, but more efficient. All right, check this wardrobe. Handful of amber. We're finding all kinds of goodies. Let's see. You need to eat this meat anyway, so we're going to be nice and full for a while. All right, switch it up. So, as you can see, durability is a thing, 92 and 95. We can repair when we get back to town. This is an unusually big open area. Most of the time, there's small rooms. Chanterelles type of mushroom. Another thing that has multiple uses. We don't need food right now, but on our way out, we can maybe grab this stuff if we need it, or just eat it when we need food again. Leave it here for now. All right. Did we explore everything up here? Okay, there's a door there. There's a door down here, and there's a door back in the area we came from. Carrot. We'll put the carrot in the box here. Guess we might as well put the chanterelle in there too. All right, this is a food box. If we need food, we come back here. And immunity change. Actually, we should eat some of this. Okay. As our immunity is a little higher than we would want. All right, let's check this door first. One of these doors is going to have the boss. Oh, let's check this first. Leak. All right. All right. There's someone else coming. Ooh. And switch. Wait. Oof. All right, so we have pain, so we're going to use this. All right, that helps with our pain. Oof, we're in trouble. All right, we got him. Let's move. All right, we almost got him. We should be okay. That was a fight. As you can see, just two regular enemies, and we hurt bad. So before we loot, we're going to back off and find a safe place to heal up. We'll just hang out here by this wall. All right, let's fix our limbs and such. That was very close to having a head injury, and trust me, you don't want that. We're going to use up a bunch of healing salve. But as you can see, you need to take care of yourself, and naturally you use up the stuff in your inventory, which gives you more space for loot. It's kind of the gameplay loop. All right. And our hunger's up again, so we need another piece of cabbage. Or, yeah. Almost looks like lettuce, honestly. Okay. All right, grab the arrows, the cell key for the quest, which means the boss is probably nearby, so we need to be careful. In fact, back off here and rest. You press R to rest, and you just sit there and chill. Our health all went up to the top as far as it can because of our condition. We don't really need to repair all the way to 100 for now. We're okay. And there's two traps there. Spool of thread. This place is more sprawling than I expected. Okay, well, we'll just keep exploring this area. All right, see if we can get the jump on this guy. And we randomly got heroism. Lasts just for a random amount of time and boosts your all kinds of stuff. Life drain even. I don't know if life drain applies to ranged attacks. Switch. All right, he's pretty hurt. He did stagger us, so we'll back off. And actually, break line of sight with the archer. Might as well take a drink while we're waiting for him to close range. Got him. All right, and then we want to step, switch, shoot. Okay. Sometimes they'll even hit traps. Got him and leveled. All right. So we gotta be really careful looting here that we don't step onto these traps. Nothing in the cupboard. But there was a barrel over here I need to check. Mindwort. Garlic. That should help with our immunity as well. Yum yum. And that's something I would do in real life, man. I'd eat a whole clove of garlic. I love garlic. I ain't no vampire. Okay. Weird little doors. Rag. So rags act as bandages. They just take up more space. But they don't give you bleed resistance. They're not worth much either. It's here if we need it, but we don't take it with us. We eat this raspberry. All right, let's check these rooms. Actually, let's level up really quick. We want more perception for accuracy. Okay. I want to get this to level 15 for the extra range, vision, and crit, and more miracle chances. And let's just go ahead and get distracting shot. We'll have all 4 of those skills. Then we can work on spear skills for a bit. For nuggets. For some money. Nothing on the rack. Nothing in the wardrobe. This might be where the guy we're looking for is. Nope. Doesn't look like these are just rooms. Alright, another place we can't get into. Piece of steel. Restores 5 durability to any metal armor. I don't think we have any. But it is pretty useful, and also sells if we don't have anything. Nothing in the cupboard. We might come back here with lockpicks for the 2 chests we found so far. Maybe if we find like one more, we can come back with lockpicks to get the... Ooh, I made a mistake. I almost walked on those traps. Don't do what I just did. Okay. This looks like the boss chamber. I had to guess. Trap. Yep. That is almost guaranteed to be the boss. Jotun the Fearsome. He's a dual wielder. Okay. All right. I don't know if he has cronies in here, so I'm going to try to lure him out some. Also, maybe try to lure him onto the trap. Not likely he'll hit it. He probably knows it's there, but yeah. I mean, it's possible, though. And sometimes you can get them to walk on the traps. It's pretty cool. If you can pull that off. So, we'll back away and hit. Nice. Immobilized him. Down to 74%. Down to 45. Oh, yeah, we got this. No problem. Switch to my spear. Got him. Easy peasy. That went really well. Okay. We definitely want at least the gold. So we'll just drop this spool thread temporarily, merge this, and leave this. We will get more purses as we do quests. So there's a crony. Good thing I lured the other guy out. This guy's probably a little more dangerous. Oh no, he's just a regular goon. He just happens to have a dagger. Well, I thought he was something more tough. Nice. He is now staggered, immobilized, and dazed. And 49%. Yep, one more hit and he'll be dead. We're going to focus on the other guy, but we're out of stones. Ooh. Ooh, that was scary. As you can see, Second Wind gives you health replenishment, energy replenishment, reduces your cooldowns, removes, once it activates, it removes all your negative effects and heals you some. Once per 30 turns, you also have 50% chance to avoid death. Arna has that unlimited, which is really cool. All right, so we also have a torso injury. This is where the splints come in. Wounded reduces your max threshold, has all kinds of negative effects. We right-click, apply splint to stabilize. Now it's torso injury stabilized, and if we heal it all the way up with some salves, it fixes it, and we're all good. Tip-top shape again, sort of. We need to heal. Grab these crowns. Last sword we need for the quest. Let's go ahead and bandage, or salves. Use up those salves for space for this last sword. All right, cool. That means we'll be able to turn that quest in when we get back to town. And we don't have a lot of stones left. All right. The pathing will not avoid traps, even if you know about them. So remember, keep that in mind. Nice little side room here. That's weird room layout. Let's check that. Just a bowl. All right, there's a third chest, so it might be worth grabbing some lockpicks and coming back here after we complete the quest. Although, if I'm not mistaken, there's a possibility that once you turn in the quest, the dungeon resets. So we will see if we have enough time to go to town, get lockpicks, come back. If we don't, it's fine. It's not a big deal. We will find more loot. Don't worry. Not the end of the world. All right. Anything I can drop for this meat? I don't think I want to just randomly eat these honeycombs. They could come in handy, so I think we're good. We'll just leave that for now. All right, folio. So books of any kind, you can read them to gain experience. I'm not going to read this one out loud, but if you guys want me to, let me know, and I'll do that in the future. Also, books sell for a good amount, and there's a town with a guy who buys books for more than usual. You read them, and you get experience. Candlestick. All right. Let's see. Definitely want the swords. 50, 30. You could probably just switch out this for the book. And well, we know it's here if we need it later or have room for it later. Maybe when we come back to unlock the chests, we can try to come with a mostly empty inventory and grab as much as possible. Although there are risks involved. Well, of course, we can also buy a backpack. We'll have enough gold to do that when we do get back to town, so be worth grabbing. Saporific sponge. So these are an interesting item. If you use it, it puts you to sleep, but it helps with your pain. Handle end. All right, bog bean. All right. All right. So I say I'll write a lot, don't I? Or I am saying I write a lot right now, anyway. Okay. So we've explored all this. Now we gotta go. Okay. So there's a door here, and there's still the other door we haven't gone through at the entrance area. Is that door always open? Weird. We better be careful. There might be a bad guy roaming. Thankfully, no matter what you're doing, if you see an enemy, your character will stop. So that at least is something. Okay, this looks like there's an enemy. Maybe there's one in the entry. All right, here we go. Drag him out. How can I not see him? That is so weird. He hit his own friend. That's awesome. Okay. Doesn't look like we have anything to help with pain right now, so we'll just wait. What does this do? No. All right. Well, we'll just fight it out. Definitely want to need to remember bring more stones. All right. Cool. Try to close the gap with this guy. Got him. Okay. We are alive. Battle Cleaver. I mean, it doesn't really make much of a difference. I think amount you get is the same regardless, but in case there is a chance, there is an effect on how much he pays you based on the quality. Might as well grab the better ones. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Bolt of cloth, piece of leather. So, piece of leather, like this piece of metal, can heal or to repair leather items. Looks like our gloves need some help. Ah, there's a bad guy. But we have more stones than that. But that's okay. We did get a hit on him anyway. Ugh, yikes. Yeesh. All right. Fly leeches. Fly leeches. And we're going to go get that mead and drink it. Because we is in pain. All right. And we're drunk for 35 turns. Oh, man, it didn't do much to our pain, did it? Okay, drunkenness is gone. Let's see if there's anything in here to help. Oh, we can drink more. And let's eat this. And this. Help with our intoxication a bit. And actually, yeah, let's eat this honeycomb as well. Okay. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. That was a little bit of a tough fight, but we're okay. We are out of healing salves. We gotta keep that in mind. We only have, yeah, we don't have anything for treating. But as I was saying before, the enemy so rudely interrupted us. Bolt of cloth is going to be worth quite a bit. 64, 30. We don't need the bottle. And we'll grab this bolt of cloth. 160 gold for that sucker? I'll take it. And there's something. Oh, okay. Do we even have any ammo? We don't. Oh, we do have one rock. Okay. Missed. Got him. Okay. Ooh. right, we're gonna rest for a bit. Let our limbs kind of heal up naturally. It takes a long time, but we do have food and water in plenty, so we can just hang out and let ourselves heal up some. We don't have to go all the way, but we definitely want to let this heal up some. Okay, we stop resting and we eat something. Let's go over to our little chest of food back here and eat some stuff. Eat that, eat that, that. You know what? We're just going to eat some butter. Cool. Rest some more. Eat some honeycomb. And that actually, the honeycomb helps with our healing efficiency. So we're doing okay. All right, we're at 90. That's a good amount. We'll go with that for now. We're actually close to the entrance, so let's go see if there's any rocks on the ground to refill our ammo. Okay, here's some stones. Some sticks and stones to break some bones. And we're thirsty, so we'll drink some water. And we'll grab a second stack. I mean, we're not probably going to see many more enemies, but be prepared that way. Because we really want to be able to do as much damage from distance and before they close the gap. That's going to give us the strongest advantage. All right, 2 stacks would be good. I'm wondering if there's maybe like a stack or something you can get that you can put stones into so you can hold more in one slot. Not sure. Okay, there's a place to cook things here. Let me keep that in mind. We should be close to done with this dungeon, so. Alrighty, into the back room we go again. Tomato. Tomato. Just a jug. And there is a 4th bottle of oil's worth a little bit. You can actually, if you're a fire mage, you can carry oil and throw it at people. They'd be doused, and then they take more damage from your fire. It's pretty cool. Also worth a little bit. All right. Yeah, so that's 4 chests. I am tempted to grab some lockpicks and come back. I can think there's just the one room left. Make sure we're not missing anything. Yeah, looks like just this one over here. What's our journals say? Still the 2 days. So it might be worth running back to town, grabbing some lockpicks, and coming straight back. Get this juicy loot. Not juicy fruit, juicy loot. Okay. Let's get some. Got him. Okay. 36, 29, 27. Just grabbing the 3 that are worth the most for the quest. We also turn on the quest while we're back. I'll clear up a lot of space and also uh, give us a little extra income too. So we can buy lockpicks and a backpack, hopefully. Nothing over here. Nothing over here. Okay. Once we complete the quest, I'm going to take a short break, and then we'll be back in a bit. But let's complete the quest first, or at least the dungeon. Still 2 more doors. This is a big area. Rope. So rope is a material, but it's not worth a lot. Look at it. Yeah, it's not worth a ton, and splint is definitely not worth something you want to leave. All right, we'll check this door first. All right, here's the cell room. Rack. That's probably the guy we gotta save. There's a bow. The rhubarb. Lavender. The C and the D looks like a C and an L. It's weird. That uses up the key. Before we talk to him, we want to make sure that the area is cleared out. Let's eat this. Probably eat this spearmint. Yeah, might as well. Good old mint. Charcoal chunk is worth a little bit, but probably not enough to keep. Just drop that. I mean, we can always grab it, but we have those cloths and stuff in the cart outside. How's our aim? It's pretty low, so we don't need to drink this. Take the moolah. Ah, look at that, water. And we can fill up our water skin. And a cooking place. Neat. Alright, so that's all of the places in this, all the areas explored. So now we can see if these are open. If not, it's fine. Yeah, that's fine. We don't need to pick these locks. Corpses usually don't have much on them. Not worth wasting your lock picks usually. Sometimes they have valuables, but it's generally not worth it. That one was completely empty. Thank you so much. I thought I was done for, that it was the end. Needless to say, I feel like crap, but it's nothing serious. As long as the way out is clear, I'll be right behind you. Follow me. Okay. Looks like there's no traps between here and the exit, so we'll head that way. All right. And it should automatically... Okay, there we go. Freedom at last. I can hardly believe it. Thanks for getting me out and seeing me this far. I should be able to manage the rest on my own. Seek me out once you're back in the village. I'll repay you however I can. Okay, thank you, Tancred. All right, that's the quest. So we want to take these with us, especially the bolt of cloth and the Saiga belt. Saiga? Is it Saiga or is it Saiga? I'm not sure. Leave in the comments if you know how that's supposed to be pronounced. And because we want to take those, our best bet's to leave behind some stuff that we want to keep, and we can come back and grab it. So, like, we can leave our water skin. We can leave this torch. We can leave this splint. I don't want to leave my gold in case for some reason these disappear. I don't think they will, but why risk it if we don't have to? All right, we have room for the pelt. We need 3 more spots. We'll probably hang on to the piece of steel for repairs later. Just need 1 more. We can just eat this. Okay. Take that. And replenish our rocks. And put the rest in here. Grab the rabbit pelt. All right. So we're going to make a beeline back to town. But before we do that, I need to take a short break. Refill the legs, stretch the water. I will be back soon, folks. Stay tuned. am back. Let's go ahead and get back into it. Having some issues with my sound. Hopefully you guys can hear it on your end. Alright, so we're going to head back to town. We're going to turn in... actually, we can just head to the mill. Oh, except we need to turn in the quest to the blacksmith as well. So we'll head back to regular town. Actually, we don't want to turn in the quest for the hostage yet, because I think, if I remember correctly, dungeons will seal up if you complete a quest related to them, and then they'll reopen back up, but they'll reset their contents. So we want to come back with lockpicks and open the chests we weren't able to get into. So I'll head back to town, we'll turn in the quest to the blacksmith, and we will grab a backpack and some lockpicks and sell off the rest of our loot. One more, or two more tiles really, but if you go to the corners you can get to the tiles pretty quickly that are diagonal. Alright, here we are back to town. Head over to the blacksmith first. I actually think he sells the lockpicks too, so we'll get those there. I also want to check out how much... Alright, finished your task. Nice, 150 gold. And see if he has any rumors real quick. I know a great spot for a camp, frequented by hunters and the magistrate patrols, but keep in mind there's always a chance you might run into a less pleasant crowd. Campsite. Alright, so 30, 21, 11, 7. And we want lockpicks. 30, 21, 11, 7. 34, 24, 11, and 5. So we can sell these all for... Oh, whoops. That's not selling. Wrong button. Alright. Sold. Alright, 86, 21, 64, 27. So get all this organized so I can keep track of the prices better. Also need to check on the prices of the oil. and arrows. Okay. So 64, 86, 27, 21. Go check out the prices that they give at the tailor. Okay, so he does give more for these. Okay, so we'll sell these here. Good money. Oh yeah, I was going to buy a backpack, so I might as well grab that while I'm here. Also should heal or repair our gear, so alright. Backpack. And sell this. And then as you can see, you can open it up and put stuff in it. Pretty cool. Okay. And we'll repair this and these, that, and that. And then that would be repaired at probably the blacksmith, but it might be the woodworker. It is not. Oh, wait, is it? No, it's not. Ah, I see. So if you click on repair, however, it tells you what material it's made of. Cloth, leather. So cloth and leather goes to the tailor. Metal goes to the blacksmith. And wood would probably, I'm pretty sure, go to here. Let's sell these arrows. Back to the blacksmith to sell off this canister. For 7. Alright, we're gonna... bottle of oil. We're gonna save it anyway, so we'll head in here and see how much the oil sells for at the innkeeper. It doesn't sell at all. Okay, so we'll sell it to the merchant when we come back out. But while we're here, we should rent a room. Only costs 15 crowns here. And we can sell or store the book for later when we find the merchant that buys them for a lot. And also sleep to save it. But we're not going to sleep for a long time. We're just going to rest to save the game. And then journal. Still says 2 days, so we should be good to head back. And lockpicks only break if they fail to unlock. So we should be good with just one set. How much are they again? If they're cheap, I might just grab some to make sure we have enough. Oh, it only has the one set. Crowbar's kind of expensive, so we'll just stick with the one set. We should be good. And we can store most of this stuff. Keep this or in here. But that frees up lots of space. So we have lots of space to get our loot. Now that's all done. Did that. Don't have a bear pelt. Don't have bison pelt. Don't have brandy. And complete the first card. Okay, so that'll be part of turning in this quest when we're done. Alright, And we will be able to see if the dungeon locked itself or not. If it did, it's not a big deal. We still need to pick up our stuff in the chest outside, so still worth going back. And keep an eye on this if you're worried about... Oh, nice. We got optimism again. You can see bonus of experience gain, some other stuff. Helps you heal pain if you have any. Yes, I should have grabbed food, but that's okay. Map. Okay, so yeah, one more tile up and left. So yeah, keep an eye on the log on the bottom left, and you'll be able to know if there's anything dangerous around you. Okay, up and left. Looks like it's still open, so we should be okay to get in there and get the loot. Make sure our stuff's still in here. Yep, sure is. Still good on stones, but there should be no enemies left, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, so save yourself turns by scrolling. If you don't have the move your mouse to the edge to pan feature on, you can also hold down the middle mouse button and move around that way. It actually is a little faster that way too. Alright, closest one I think is up here. Yeah, there's one there. We don't want to run over the trap, so let's go here. Walk. Alright, and there should be no traps on the way in. Okay, so we'll head here. I think there's what, 4? Maybe 5? You right click and pick. And it worked. And you can see it doesn't use up one unless you fail. Also, us building up our perception helps. Agility and perception make it more likely. Okay, worn cloak, we don't need that. It's not going to be worth very much. I mean, I guess we might as well grab it. It'll sell for a few gold, and if we don't fill up on stuff. Antitoxin is nice to have. We'll probably just hang on to that for times when we get poisoned. Alright, that's that chest. And then I want to say there was one over here. Yeah. No traps on the way. Just checking the ground, see if there's anything worth grabbing. And worked that time too. Got some gold. Ancient coin. Coin minted from pure gold in times of yore. These are great. These are a rare sight nowadays. Okay. And a piece of iron. This spear has got some value at least. Probably won't sell for much, but might as well grab it. Okay, and I think there was one here. Yeah. Any traps? Oh, there's one there. Okay, so we'll go here. And then should be no traps on the way. Cool. Off to the next one. And we'll pick that lock. Oops. No. That's weird. There we go. And we got in. Barrel of beer. Excellent. Cool. Takes up a lot of space, but it's worth a lot too. Marble Bear. Okay, we can take that. Sega Horns. +2 to max energy with our Bone Charm. Brass Ring. Rending resistance. Fumble chance. Pop that bad boy on. More ancient coins. Gold. And a silver cup worth 100 gold. Very nice. There's a little icon here. Commodity. Something tells me we should hang on to this. It might come in handy for something. Yeah, I'll probably put that in my stash. Until I know for sure what its uses are. Okay, so grab these nails and this candle end and this soporific sponge. Might as well grab the purse too while we're at it. See what these shivs are worth. I guess I should be checking all the weapons just to see. Alright, 14. That's not worth 7. No. They're both not worth it. Okay. Mind wart. See what these pieces of gear are worth. No. And large club we don't really have room for, so. And it's probably not worth anything, honestly. Alright, and I think this is the last of the chests. Alright, cool. No failed attempts, so we still have all our lockpicks. Nice bolt of, or spool of thread. And then, last but not least, or maybe least, I don't know, is this chest with food in it. We need to eat food anyway. And, oh no. Now see, like I said, if you're not paying attention, these traps, they hurt. I'm on fire. I am literally on fire. And that is my fault. Okay, I'm not on fire anymore. But I'm injured. We should be okay because there's no enemies nearby, but that is what happens if you're careless. Alright, let's get to this food. Oh. Did I eat it? Oh, I must have eaten it. I think I did eat it all. Now I remember. Okay, let's see what this flail's worth. Not much. Cleaver, not much. Alright. Probably good to head out. The rest of this stuff can just stay. Yeah. Okay, cool. We got some good loot. And an injury to boot. I think I have a splint out here. I'll use it on my leg. Alright, stabilize that. Drink some water. I don't need the rocks necessarily. And open this. We'll just leave the rocks. Okay, and that's it. Now, so it still says 2 days. That'll probably change soon, but we just need to head back to Osbrook anyway. Campsite, that was probably the one that we got the rumor from. And we can just rest, let our leg heal up. We are getting hungry though, so can't wait too long. You know what? Let's just head back. We should be okay. Our leg is stabilized. And take care of our injuries when we get back to town. So, for efficiency's sake, head directly to the corner. Just keeping an eye on my stats here. Should be okay though. I'm not sure when monsters respawn and everything, but we're not in. Shouldn't be in too much danger. Most of the enemies that would have spawned on the path are already spawned, so. Get back to town, and we'll be as right as rain once we rest and eat and drink. Alright, we're back to town. First things first. We head back to the inn, get some food, and get some sleep. The magistrate will be asleep, so we can't turn in a quest right now anyway. And we still have 2 days, so it's not like it'll expire. Alright, we need a good hearty meal. Let's put our stuff away and then I can do that. Alright. That gives us the space we need for the food. And this is, once we complete the quest, that's probably a good time to call it a night. But I will probably pick this up either tomorrow or the next day. I'm not sure exactly what day yet. But in the next few days, I'll probably pick this up. Having a good time, and why not? Alright, a good hearty meal. Bread bowl stew. Yeah, let's treat ourselves. Boom. That does the trick. Drink some water. And get some sleep. Wait, did we... I think we still have the room from the previous... Like when we rested to save the game, so... It'll tell us if we don't. Alright, cool. Alright, we'll just sleep till... noon. Alright. Leg should be all the way healed in no time. Alright, cool. Good to go. Need to deal with our immunity issue, which I think we could do with food. I'm not 100% sure how immunity builds. I think it's certain foods, but there's also certain medicines. Yeah, this mushroom salad does it. but I think we'll get more bang for our buck. Actually, do we need to eat? We need to eat anyway, so we'll grab the mushroom salad. Any of these other things? No, no, no. Oh, that does 1 point. What we need is something that does it over time. We'll grab this though because we need to eat anyway. All right, head over to the magistrate's office, turn in our quest, head over to the healer, and then after that we'll save the game and call it a night. Don't you worry, we'll be back. About my contract, I'm done. I knew you wouldn't let us down. Here's your well-deserved reward. By the way, I'll make sure everyone in the village knows about your exploits. You have my word on this. 420 gold. We can merge that with our current purse. Cool. Alright, morale improved significantly for completing a quest. We also got, so if you go to your journal and go to reputation, it shows you your reputation increase. Okay, so it looks like haggling for the extra reward did make us take a small hit to our reputation, but overall 363 minus 25 is still a pretty huge increase overall, so we're good. As you can see, the effects, there's different effects for different levels. Common cause. A portion of the reputation gained from completing local contracts is also granted in other settlements. Allows purchase of equipment that's a higher tier. And also increase their stock size. And we can also ask for advance payment, for partial advance payment. I'm not sure if it's partial or full. I think it's partial, but we can get money in advance if we need it. And then next level we'll have better pricing. We'll get the next quest next time after we save. Alright, so I head down to the alchemist hut. Any rumors? I've received some wise advice from a pilgrim. Guess you could use it as well. If your journeys ever take you to an old monastery, don't forget to offer a prayer to the host first, so that the warding hand may protect you from evil. The stronger your faith, the better the protection, although that pilgrim never dared to descend into the catacombs to test it himself. Apparently he heard something moving in the darkness. So this is an actual in-game effect. There are roadside shrines that you can find sometimes. If you pray at one of those, you have a buff temporarily that helps prevent unholy damage and helps you deal extra damage to the unholy enemies. And you can also get that buff now from traveling priests. I found that out with my other test character. Okay, so we need things for immunity. Probably these like plants. Some of them, I would guess. Maybe not. Alright, well, we need splints anyway, so let's grab a couple of those. Let's go ahead and stock up a bit since we do have some extra gold. I'm gonna let you have. Oh no, he won't take it. Okay, that's fine. All right, we need bandages. Oh, we have some. We have some bandages. We need salves. I'm gonna grab a few because they're good to have. All right, that's for pain. This reduces immunity. Oh, they have recipes. Rope, smoking mix. Interesting. So there isn't anything that helps with immunity. So it's just certain foods, it looks like. Huh, okay. I gotta do some research to figure out what helps with immunity, but anyway, that's probably a good place to stop. So we'll go ahead and call it a night, and we'll pick it up next time. I'm gonna go and save it, and then we'll do that. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider subscribing, liking the video. Hey, leave me a comment if you'd like to see a different type of character, or if you have any tips or tricks for this game. Have a good night, folks. This is Grumbo signing off.